Yeah, welcome yet again to another class today. And do not forget, this is a GD328 class, and we'll be discussing Module 2 today, which is Scope of Population Education. I still remain my name, and you can reach me on my mail. Thank you very much. You recall that in the last class we discussed population education, the description of population, types of population, the nature of population education, and today we will talk about the scope. Population education have five important scopes, which are demography, population change, productive health, determinant of population change, and planning for the future. So we'll discuss this one after the other. Demography is the study of human population. That's the first one we will discuss today. And it is concerned with the size, composition, and distribution of population throughout space, as well as the mechanism by which population change. Demography studies births, deaths, and migration. They are the big three of demography, and they contribute to population stability or change. A population's demography usually explains the population in terms of demographic variables such as gender, age, race or ethnicity, marital status, and economic position. One thing to keep in mind is that demography depicts lives through extreme occurrences, which are births and deaths, and it also studies age-specific fertility and mortality. Vital rates. Vital rates are the vital events that happen in life, such as birth, death, um, marriage, annulment, separation, divorce, adoption. All these are vital events. So demography studies all these. And three. Then these demographers, they work with what we call demographic data. Demographic data is the information about a group of people according to certain attributes such as age, sex, and place of residence. Demographic data can also include socioeconomic factors such as occupation, family status, or income. All these are demographic and socioeconomic variables. Those are the variables that the demographers study in a population. Methods of gathering demographic data. We have two methods, majorly, which are direct and indirect methods. Under the direct methods, we have vital registration. Vital registration has to do with the registration of vital events such as birth, death, migration, adoption, marriage, annulment, naturalization, and all this. When we get married, we go to registry. It is a vital event. When we give birth, we obtain the national certificate, birth certificate for them. Then, when we die, we also obtain certificates of death. All these are direct methods of gathering demography data. Part of the information they will get is the name, the age, the sex, place of residence. All these will be part of the information provided in the certificates. Then, census is another one. Census is the head count of every member in the population. And by the time we, the census is done every 10 years. It's supposed to be done every 10 years. However, in Nigeria, the last census was carried out in 2006. And so we are using the projection. We are using the population projection in Nigeria. But census has its own features. It is done every 10 years and it is done individually. When you go to a particular family, you cannot say, okay, they have 6 children, and you assume that everybody has the same characteristics, you have to take each and every one-on-one interview, asking questions and then giving feedback to the government on each one. So census is a direct method of gathering demographic data. Indirect methods, we have the sister method. In this kind of method, the questions are being asked among sisters. For example, if we are studying complications of pregnancy or date-related or pregnancy-related deaths, we can ask sisters or women in the community, hello, good morning, how are you? Have you heard about pregnancy-related deaths? Has it happened to any of your cousins or siblings? How many people do you know that it has affected? When you gather all this kind of information, you'll be able to project that, okay, out of 20 women in this community, about 5 of them die of pregnancy-related issues. Then we have survey. Survey is a method of gathering information with the use of instruments such as questionnaire, interview, focus group discussion, checklist, and others. So through all this survey, you'll be able to detect, to gather information on whatever variable you are trying to study. There are models of specific variables. Under these models of specific variables, for example, if you are studying mortality, there are some mortality models of mortality that you can use to gather such information. Likewise, on fertility, on whatever that you want to study, there are so many models that one can use. Another scope of population education is population change. From the name, it studies the dynamics in a population, how a population changes over time. Now, both the size and structure of the population can vary. A population can change both in size and in structure, and it can change either in size or in structure. What are the types of population change? We have one population change in size. In terms of population change in size, we have two changes, which are natural change and actual change. Natural change are changes that are due to birth or death. Birth is a natural event. Death is a natural occurrence. So long as you are born on this earth, you must die one day. So if death is more than birth, death rate is more than birth rate, what happens? The population declines. However, if the birth rate is more than the death rate, the population increases. So we also have what we call actual change. This actual change is a change due to immigration or emigration. We said the 3 B's of demography are birth, death, and migration. This migration can either be immigration or emigration. When there is immigration, when the immigration is higher than emigration, the population increases. But when the emigration, that is moving out, is higher in a population, the population reduces. So that is the actual change. We also have population change in structure. Population change in structure deals with factors such as age structure, gender structure, fertility structure, ethnicity, and affluence structure. Age structure in terms of, is it the men that are more? Is it the females that are more? If the women are many, it means that one, the fertility rate will be higher, especially if they are of childbearing age, and the population would increase. We also have gender structure. The gender structure has to do with, age structure is the categories of people in relation to age. Whether we have children, or more youth, or more average people, or average age people, or the elderly. So all these have implications on the population. Gender structure can also be either male or female. Then fertility structure. Do we have young women who can give birth more, or we have elderly women who cannot give birth? All these have implications. And if there are people who are more fertile, like the women of childbearing age are many, it means that there must be effective family planning arrangements in such a population. We also have ethnicity, the ethnic distribution in terms of who are the ethnic groups in the population. For example, in Nigeria, we have Igbo, Yorubas, and Hausas. The Igbos are the Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa are the three major ethnic groups. However, we have more than 200 ethnic groups who are subsumed under these three. In fact, recently that we have Hausa Fulani. Before it used to be Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, but the Fulanis too are becoming more prominent, and we have Hausa Fulanis. So apart from this, all others are subsumed under the three majority ethnic groups. We also have affluent structure. The affluent structure has to do with the social class, the wage. Is there a very large distance or disparities in resource distribution, in wealth distribution in the population? The high class, are they very, very many, or the lower class, or the middle class? And is there any way in which the lower class get benefit from the people of high social class? So all these are the things that demographers study. Another one is sexual and reproductive health. The sexual and reproductive health is an aspect, a scope of population education. It deals with the sexuality and reproductive vibrancy of a population, the well-functioning of the reproductive organs of both male and female. That is what reproductive health is. And organs and hormone-producing glands, such as the pituitary gland in the brain, make up the reproductive system. The reproductive organs are the ovaries, while male reproductive organs are the testicles. I think we are all familiar with that. And both genders are advised to take care of their reproductive system to ensure that they are healthy. We will still look at the structure in the next slide. So reproductive health disorders. There are some disorders that affect the reproductive health. There are some that are common to both male and female, and there are those that are peculiar to either male or female. Let's look at the female reproductive health issues. We have early or delayed puberty. Some people see, some girls see their menses at around 10, while some others see it even at 18. Endometriosis is a disease that affects the intestines. When the tissue lining the inside of the womb, called endometrium, grows outside of it, so the womb has a lining called the endometrium. When this endometrium grows outside the womb, then it is called endometriosis. It prevents a woman from getting pregnant, and it's a very serious issue. Fertility problems or infertility. This may affect male or female. Fertility problems may be due to a lot of reasons: untreated STIs, uh, um, a lot, ovarian cysts, hyperprolactinemia, too much of production of too much prolactin. It may be due to a lot of things, previous abortions, and this happens to women most of the time. The men too can be infertile, ranging from low sperm count to watery sperm to a lot of other problems. Then menstrual problems. This affects the women because men do not menstruate. So menstrual problems may be oligomenorrhea, which is too heavy flow. It may be amenorrhea, where the lady does not see is a period, a cessation of period. Painful menses, that is yes, it may even occur that the a girl would have painful menses, and it will be so painful that sometimes they get admitted into the hospital. So all these are menstrual issues. And then Polycystic ovarian syndrome is also a kind of disease that affects the ovaries, and it may lead to infertility in women. Complications of pregnancy. During pregnancy, a lot of things happen. It may be due to pregnancy-induced hypertension. It may be pregnancy-induced diabetes. It may even be the positioning of the baby. There are a lot of complications, bleeding, anemia that may happen during pregnancy or preeclampsia. We also have non-cancerous growths in a woman, which is known as fibroid. This fibroid has taken the lives of so many women. In some, it is manageable, while in some others, they have to undergo surgeries. Some people 2 or 3 times before they are cured, and some people end up losing their lives. So these are the issues that may affect women reproductively. What do you think are the causes of reproductive disorders? That is the class activity that I have for you today. Yes, a lot of reproductive disorders, but what are their causes? What are main reproductive health problems? Impotence, low sperm count, low libido, prostate problems. And the causes of reproductive health issues, we have lead poisoning. It can lead to infertility. Mercury exposure, which can be associated with nervous system disorders such as memory, attention, and fine motor skills. We also have DES, which is Silvestrol. A medication was provided to pregnant women, is now linked with an increase in cancer and infertility. So, endocrine disruptive compounds or chemicals may also affect the hormones. They may prevent pregnancy and they may cause complications during pregnancies. Here is the structure of the reproductive health. This is for the women and this is for the men. You can see the parts. This is for the men and this is for the women, sorry. And for the male organs, we have the bladder, we have the seminal vesicles, we have the prostate, the vas deferens, the testicles, the epididymis, we have the penis and urethra, the bladder. So for the females, we have, these are the fallopian tubes, this one that looks like angle. Then we have uterus, which is called the womb. We have the ovaries, these are the head. You can see the way they are hung there. They are the ones being released every month. And then we have the cervix, we have endometrium, the vagina, and then all these are the parts of a female reproductive system. Another scope of population education is determinants of population change. And this has to do with the factors that lead to change. You know, we said that one of the scope of population education is population change. This determinant of population change deals majorly with the factors that lead to these changes. So they include the study biological factors, social factors, and cultural factors that have direct impact on population change. It also examines elements that drive population change, such as poverty and social cultural practices. So a shift in population signifies a shift in the number of individuals. If a population is 100 and now we have 120, it means that the population has increased. But if it is now 95, you know that there is a decrease in population. Determinants of population change is concerned with why there has been an increase or how the increase or decrease came about. So this includes demographic processes such as mortality, fertility, and migration. It can also be biological. Biological means genetic, heredity, and chromosomal abnormalities and all that. Then we have social, which may be peer pressure, drug abuse, social issues generally. Then religious, the impact of religion on our health or population cannot be overemphasized. We can see what religion has done to a lot of people in Nigeria. Look at Boko Haram. Boko Haram has brought about serious deaths and mishaps in Nigeria, and they are claiming to be Islamic states. So religion, economic, and cultural variables cannot influence demographic trends. The last but not the least, we have the planning for the future. Population education has been increasingly focused on improving people's quality of life. You know, we emphasize more on quality of life because we want people to live quality life. In the light of this, the conceptual framework for population education are based on 6 primary themes. And these are family size and welfare. We are saying that in order to plan for a good future, there must be sizable family size, delayed marriage, responsible parenthood. When we say responsible parenthood, it means that you are not giving birth every 9 months. Then population change and resource development, population related beliefs and values. Some people believe that like in the olden days, they believed they needed to have more children in order to have people, more hands to help in their farming. Now we are not farmers mostly, and we are educated, so there must be a change in our attitude towards population growth. So women's status, when women are empowered, when women are emancipated to in the community, they are the ones who give birth to children. They are the ones who majorly do or take family planning. So they'll be able to do this. The attitudinal change will be there in order to maintain a sizable population. These themes are addressed through content from 6 content areas, which are population and economic development. When the population is not so many, there will be economic development because there will not be crisis, there will not be overuse of resources, there will be economic development. Look at Nigeria's situation now. We have everything, but because we are too many, we cannot manage it. And it is what has brought about economic recession and all that we are talking about today. Population and social development. Yes, socially we will develop. We'll be able to compete with other people from other worlds. Globally, we will not be behind. We are not supposed to be developing countries. We are supposed to be advanced countries by now. So population, environment, and resources. The environment and resources will not be overstretched. And population and family life. The family life will be qualitative. We will have good qualitative family life. And then population, health, and nutrition. We eat good food, and so we will be healthy. Then population dynamics. The change in our population will be a very good one, a positive change in our population dynamics, and everybody will be fine. So planning for the future is also an important scope of population education. If you have any question, you can ask me, and you can also reach me on adijatelias@gmail.com or elias.am@unilearning.edu.ng. I hope you are able to understand the topic and you can read further in your e-courseware module 2. You will prepare for the third class, which we are going to be having next week. Thank you so much. Bye.